Hey TechKnowStuds, and when I say studs, I mean both students and you are awesome. Thanks for joining me in these videos. Your computer really couldn't operate without storage. It's a critical part of how computers function. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start exploring what different storage devices look like. What are some of their characteristics, how they operate. So we're gonna dive into that in this module. We'll kick this module off getting into storage devices. What do storage devices look like and what are some of the characteristics of them? This is going to be a high overview of those different storage devices. Then we'll talk about the media, where the bits are actually stored onto. And so we'll talk about that media and what it looks like and what are some different types of media that's out there. And each one of those different medias has different characteristics. So we're gonna get into some different characteristics and what we call certain types of storage. Then we'll talk about computer components. What are some of the components inside your computer and what do we call those different components and what are their functions? Then we'll get into form factors. This is kind of the size and shape and how we actually mount the stuff into our, whether it's going to be on our motherboard or into our devices. So we'll talk about different form factors and what those form factors are. Then we'll get into protocols and interfaces. What those devices need to do is communicate with your hardware, with your computer, with your motherboard. And we do that through these interfaces and through protocols, certain ways that we actually set up the communication between these devices. Then we'll get into hard disk drives and start summing up everything that we talked about from the media to characteristics and components, and we'll apply them to a hard disk drive and see what that looks like.